Classic Fairy Tales.
The Magpie King and the Haughty Princess. Once upon a time, there was an old king who ruled a kingdom. He only had one daughter called Princess Elsa. The princess was very stunning. However, she was always arrogant to everyone.
Dear princess, here is your new makeup. Put it on the table.
The trembling maid held the makeup box and approached the princess. She accidentally dropped the box.
Oh!
Seeing her new makeup box completely broken, Princess Elsa was furious.
I'm really sorry, princess. I didn't do it on purpose. You're so useless. How dare you break my precious makeup box? I'm so sorry, princess. I will clean it up. Then I will bring you a new makeup box. Jeez, don't you know how precious it is? Even if you work as a maid for your whole life, you will never own it. Come on, clean it up and get out of my sight.
With a frightened face and fearful eyes, the maid quickly bent down to clean the debris on the floor, then quickly went out. The princess curled her lips in contempt at the maid. Suddenly, the king entered her room. He looked very unhappy seeing his daughter's actions. The king was disappointed with the prince's personality.
Maybe I have to find a husband for you, so you can change your arrogant character.
No, nobody will be suitable for me.
The party will take place tomorrow. There will be a lot of outstanding people from all the neighboring kingdoms. Please be modest and choose the one you like the most.
Although she agreed with her father's decision, Elsa frowned and felt very unhappy. The next day, the palace was decorated to welcome the king's distinguished guests to the party. The king invited the 6 most outstanding men. They were all princes and noblemen from the neighboring countries. The king felt very pleased. At the moment, Elsa walked into the palace in the beautiful dress. Her beauty shined brightly. All the guests stood up to welcome her, but she did not even look at anyone and just kept walking.
Father!
Oh, my daughter, you came at the right time. Come here. I will introduce you to my honored guests.
The first guest came to see the princess and the king. This person is an earl with a slightly fat body.
Oh my god, he is short and fat like a drum.
The second one came to greet Princess. This person was slim and very tall.
How can a person look like dry wood? The wind will easily blow him away.
The third person moved forward to greet the princess. His face looked a bit pale and sick.
My god, I have never seen such a pale guy who looks like he's about to faint.
The fourth person moved forward to greet the princess. His face was as red as a clay pot.
Has anyone ever told you that your face looks like a clay pot?
Next is the fifth man. His posture is a bit curved.
You really look like the vines.
The king was extremely angry when his daughter criticized every single person. The king felt very disappointed. The sixth guest went up and bowed to the king and the princess. This last guest was young and handsome, but his chin was a bit like a magpie's beak.
Look, father, he has a chin that looks like a magpie's beak. I will call him Magpie King. Magpie King.
Being made fun of by the princess, all the guests at the party were extremely angry. The king was also very mad when his daughter criticized everyone. The king became furious and said,
Where are the servants? Tell everyone throughout the whole kingdom. If a beggar passes by the palace, I'll let him marry Princess Elsa.
The princess will have to marry a beggar. Oh, really? It serves her right, the cocky princess.
The king's command quickly spread everywhere. The whole kingdom knew the princess would have to marry a beggar. One day, a busker with ragged clothes walked to the gate of the palace. He held a guitar, sat in front of the palace and played some music. His beautiful voice made its way to the palace. The sound drifted to the king's ears. He was surprised because the singing was very good. So he asked the servants to call the man and Princess Elsa to come.
Your Majesty, it was the busker singing outside the palace. Okay, call the busker and the princess to come here for me.
Elsa was very confused. She did not know why the king called her there with a dirty beggar.
Your Majesty, my name is Paul. I haven't had anything to eat for days, so I risk coming here to sing. I hope you give me some money.
You have a great voice. I really like your singing, so I let you marry my daughter.
The princess was startled and scared to hear what the king said.
All the princes, noblemen, and talented people came here to ask to marry you. But you criticized, looked down on, and made fun of them. So now I will let you marry a busker.
Dear father, I know it's my fault. Please retract that command.
I swore to let you marry any beggar who came to the palace, and I will never take that vow back.
All of Princess Elsa's begging efforts was in vain. The priest was invited to host the wedding for the princess and Paul in the witness of the king.
Now you're the wife of a busker, not the princess of this kingdom anymore. The wife of a busker cannot stay in the palace. Now you have to follow your husband and get out of here.
Princess Elsa felt very sad as she followed the busker out of the palace. Paul led Elsa out of her father's kingdom, and they went to a neighboring kingdom. They passed a very large, beautiful forest. Elsa was surprised at the forest's beauty.
Wow, this forest is beautiful. Who does it belong to?
It belongs to the Magpie King. If you had married him, this forest would have been yours.
Oh, poor me. I should have married the Magpie King.
The busker frowned and looked unhappy. Then they passed a large, beautiful green prairie, which looked amazing. Elsa gazed at the prairie.
Wow, this prairie is so beautiful. Who does it belong to?
It belongs to the Magpie King. If you had married him, this prairie would have been yours.
Oh, poor me. I should have married the Magpie King.
The husband frowned again and felt unhappy. Paul and his wife passed a large, beautiful castle. Elsa looked at the castle passionately.
Wow, this castle is beautiful. Who does it belong to?
It belongs to the Magpie King. If you had married him, this castle would have been yours.
Oh, poor me. I should have married the Magpie King.
Anyway, you are my wife. But why are you always talking about the Magpie King? Do you think I'm not suitable for you?
Hearing that, the princess was embarrassed. She sighed and said,
Sorry. I will not say that again.
Finally, the couple stopped in front of a small and shabby hut.
My God, why is there such a tattered, run-down hut like this? Whose hut is it?
This hut is mine. Now that you've married me, it is yours as well. And this will be the place where we live together.
So, where are your servants?
Don't forget that I'm a busker. Buskers do not have servants. Whatever you want, you have to do it yourself. Now, make a fire to cook.
Princess Elsa was confused with the old kitchen. She did not know how to light a fire and cook rice.
Okay, let me show you how.
Paul is very skilled at cooking. He put the firewood in the kitchen and lit a fire to cook the rice.
Oh, fantastic! You are very good.
During the meal, Elsa hesitated to eat the frugal food. In contrast, Paul enjoyed the food.
Come on, please eat. The food is getting colder. Just try. It's very delicious.
Elsa reluctantly started her meal. She took and tried a piece of food. Immediately, she was surprised because she did not think that the frugal food was that good. She really enjoyed the food.
You used to live in a palace and eat special food. So of course, you don't know the taste of simple food.
Princess Elsa's first day being a busker's wife passed happily with a frugal but tasty meal. The next morning, the busker woke up very early.
Hey, darling, it's morning now. Time to wake up.
Seeing their money was running out gradually, Paul Paul discussed with Elsa how to earn more money.
But I'm not good at anything.
I'll go to the forest to get bamboo. You learn how to knit baskets and sell them.
The couple agreed with that plan. The princess stayed at home and cleaned up. Her husband went to the forest to get bamboo. The princess was confused looking at the bamboo.
What do I have to do now?
Use a knife to split the bamboo into small tapes, then knit them.
Elsa clumsily cut the bamboo. But because she had never done that before, she accidentally cut her hand, causing it to bleed.
Well, maybe weaving fabric suits you better. Let's learn how to weave cloth.
So, what should I do?
You practice spinning the cotton fibers first, then weave them.
Paul told Elsa to spin cotton fibers to weave fabric, but she had never done that before, and cotton fibers cut her hand and made her bleed again.
You used to live in the palace, so you are not good at those tasks. Maybe we will sell pots and dishes.
So, what will I do?
You will sit at the market and sell them.
Listening to her husband, Elsa went to the market to sell pots and dishes.
Shame on me. If the people in my kingdom come here to buy things and realize that I'm selling goods at the market, they will make fun of me.
Suddenly, she heard a galloping horse coming closer and closer. The horse rider crashed straight into Elsa's stall.
Oh!
Princess Elsa's stall collapsed. All of her goods were broken. The horse rider quickly ran away, leaving her and the wreckage. Seeing the wreckage on the road, the princess held her face and sobbed.
My God, why is my fate so miserable? Now, what can I do?
Princess Elsa went home to tell her husband and complained about her bad luck.
You're actually not good at those things. The kitchen in the palace needs some more servants, so you can go work there.
Yes, I will listen to you.
Then Princess Elsa became a maid in the kitchen, and she had to do everything, from cleaning tables and chairs, carrying food, to cleaning up the leftovers. She put the leftovers in 2 pots and took them home for her and her husband to eat together. While Elsa was resting at the kitchen corner, she felt sorrow for her fate.
I used to be a princess, but because of my arrogance, I became so miserable and pitiful. It serves me right. Father, because I did not listen to you, it's too late to regret my actions.
The princess understood her mistakes, and she vowed from then on she would work hard for a better life. Near where Elsa was standing, there were 2 cooks talking about something.
I heard the whole palace is organizing a wedding for Prince Paul.
I've heard that the princess' wife is very beautiful, but I haven't had a chance to see her yet.
Oh, let's go see her together.
Oh, that's the prince's wedding. So there must be a lot of food. I think I'll bring some food home for Paul.
Elsa took the pots and sneakily followed the 2 cooks. The princess went to a very large and beautiful hall. She was overwhelmed and scared when she realized she was lost.
Oh my God, I got lost. Where am I now? Oh,
Suddenly, Elsa was dragged away by a young man. He wore a prince costume. Elsa realized that he was the Magpie King, whom she made fun of. The prince stayed silent, held her hand, and continued walking.
let me go. Where are you taking me?
The Magpie King didn't say anything, just continued dragging her away.
Let me go.
As she was pulled away by the prince, 2 pots hanging over Elsa dropped. The soup and bread were splashed all over and made the luxurious floor dirty. The Magpie King laughed when he saw how clumsy Elsa was.
Seeing me miserable, you want to make fun of me, right?
Actually, I am the busker and also your husband. Because I love you, I pretended to be a busker, and I wanted you to be less arrogant. All those things were just to punish your arrogance, extravagance, and contempt towards others.
Please, forgive me. I really regret it now.
Everything is over. Please don't be sad. I invited your father to come here. Now we will get married and live happily together.
Finally, the princess and the magpie king got married with her father in attendance. The king felt very happy that his daughter was able to change her bad character. They invited the king to stay with them and rule 2 kingdoms.
Radio AD, thông điệp từ âm thanh. Hotline 0989 612 668. Truy cập website www.radiovietnam.com.vn để biết thêm chi tiết.